So we're highlighting some of the new pedestrian improvements we made to Fairfield Avenue and Bridgeport. As we've seen around the state of Connecticut, there's been certainly an uptick in aggressive driving, and we've had here on this state road quite a few pedestrians struck over the last several years. So what we're trying to do is make it so that it's more well delineated where pedestrians are crossing, try to alleviate some of the speed of the traffic, and make it safer for pedestrians and therefore friendlier for our businesses and our community.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. And
How are
I'll
you?
also say that this is part of a $56 million tranche of funding that the state of Connecticut is investing in communities to calm traffic, ensure greater pedestrian safety, and make our communities more walkable. So this project is doing all of that. Hey, how are you?
Tara's one of the local business owners
Hey,
here.
Tara.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, excellent. Which is your business?
Black Rock Physical Therapy. There's been too many accidents with pedestrians crossing the street. I think the city and the state have done what they could, putting in lights in the median. But even that set of lights got hit by a car. I mean, it was replaced, but anything else that could happen, considering that so many attendees of Black Rock School live on that side of Fairfield Avenue, it's just dangerous in the morning.
Beautiful.
So there's a few different initiatives going on this road where Representative Stafstrom fought to get funding for a lot of the improvements that we're going to see, and then he's been pushing to get some changes through CONDOT and through MetroCog to do some what we'll call quick build initiatives, things that can be done really quickly without having to do years of planning.
I like
And so
that.
we'll see that after we see this portion.
So can you tell me how this fits in with what Fairfield, Bill Gerber, now Christine Vitale, had announced, like a new pedestrian safety initiative in Fairfield? Is this very close to where that is?
It's a similar concept, yeah. So I think theirs is like the Safe Streets for All.
Right.
They received a federal grant for Safe Streets for All.
Okay.
Whereas this is,
State
state
funded.
funded. Representative Stafstrom bought funds the DECD to get.
So right here we have at this intersection of Fairfield and Brewster Street, this is the Black Rock Streetscape Project with the focus on streetscape improvements as well as, most importantly, pedestrian safety. As you can see, we have the decorative crosswalks here, brand new sidewalks along with the beautiful brick pavement on the borderline, beautiful new ADA compliant ramps, and you can see some new tree plantings, some new trash receptacles, new crosswalk signals as well as bike racks. And all improvements really focus on the public safety of pedestrian crossings. So what you see here is kind of the pinnacle of what we want to see throughout this corridor and the rest of the city as well.
Thank you.
So one of the things to note about this intersection is, in addition to sort of being kind of the central hub kind of here in Black Rock, is if you look up, you see sort of the water tower there, you see the next traffic light. That's actually the entrance to the Black Rock train station right there. So this is a big, so you can walk right to the train station. And actually DOT has done a really nice job. I don't know if we're gonna walk all the way up there, but at the train station itself, actually creating new pedestrian access across what was sort of a very large, very open parking lot. But now there's a dedicated lane for people to walk. So if you're walking up from Black Rock, or walk across the parking lot on a dedicated sidewalk down to the train station.
Yeah, this is the type of, and a lot of those pedestrian improvements that we look at Fairfield Black Rock Station were because, a lot of Representative Stafstrom's constituents walk to that station. It's the perfect version of transit-oriented development. We want people living where they can walk to get to the train to get to
Walk
work.
to public transportation.
And he pointed out, look, we built this huge station there, and it's not really pedestrian friendly. So we made a bunch of those quick improvements.
And you've seen a lot of new higher density housing kind of starting to be developed. Obviously this building behind us, which is the whole bank building, you see has been converted into all apartments as well. If you go up against that light, you take a right. There's a big 300 unit apartment development that's been built right there in Fairfield Avenue apartments. And it's, it's pretty much all new stuff at this point. It's mostly folks who are sort of walking to the train station and commuting to work that way, and then being able to walk back down here to bars and restaurants at night.
Yeah, please.
The other nice addition, part of the design was these bump outs. So it does two things. One, it keeps people from parking directly on the corners. So you
that's
can
good.
make right hand turns more safely, and it shortened the distance for walking. And not long before this was completed, finalized, we had a very near tragic situation with
Did you
child
say
being hit.
near
tragic.
Okay, good.
Yes,
So
no one died.
that's good.
But this will make it safer. We've got two schools right up the street. Many students walk across Fairfield Avenue, which we see is busy, but this makes it that much safer. And so this is really a boon for the neighborhood.
We did have actually on the next intersection just up where they've done some improvements as well. We did have someone get hit 6 months ago.
Yep.
And was in the hospital for a very long time. Survived it, but really lost it. Seems like motorcycle day down here today. Steve, if you want to add anything on what the city's doing?
Yeah, I just want to.
pedestrian safety?
Yeah, I just want to say, Lieutenant Governor, thank you for this, and thank you for coming down, thank you for this project. It's been a priority of the police department, myself, and Mayor Ganem, public safety, traffic and pedestrian safety. And we've had some accidents at this location in this area, and we do want to make this more walkable city, so this will go a long way in allowing us to be able to see more walkable and improve pedestrian and both traffic safety. So I really thank you.
Well, it has been the focus of what Commissioner Eucalitto has been doing. So, good work.
It really is. Eventually, it's a little harder now with the lack of federal funding that used to be there, but is to do a full-side road diet along Fairfield Avenue. And what we'd love to do is get the center median out of here and reduce this down to 2 lanes, a lane of traffic in each direction with center turn lanes and actual bike lanes, more parking, etc.
What does the center median? Why would you like to remove that? I would think it makes it safer, or no?
No, it actually doesn't.
Really?
Garrett speaks this better than I can, but it actually provides sort of false sense of security, right? The center median.
Yeah.
Yeah, explain that to me, Commissioner.
So with the center median there, and then you have the 2 lanes, what you'll often see is because people park on the shoulders here,
Right.
And the parking is so close to the lanes, a lot of people will
Open their door.
but they'll also almost like take 2 lanes when they're driving and go very fast.
Yeah.
So they feel like they have a very wide road. Whereas if you were to remove it and do 1 lane in each direction
They have to go slower.
they have to go slower because then you have a 2-way left turn lane, like a center lane, that people will get out of the way when they're trying to take a left turn, because there are a lot of left turns through here. So that's something that is a longer term project that we've committed to Representative Stafstrom to work with MetroCog on. They've got some preliminary concepts on it. We're going to work with them on some preliminary engineering, studying the traffic volumes, and see what we can do. Even if there's no federal funding, there's state funding that can be applied towards it in the future. But in the short term, we do reverse here. They did point out there's some things we have to do now to improve safety, especially for the schools here and further up the road at Belmont.
Oh, that's a beautiful school, Steve. Black Rock Streetscape.
That's Black Rock School there. You see the back of it. So this was
Right.
actually, so you see the original school, and then
Oh, that's a wing.
and then we did an extension on the school. It used to only go through 6th grade, and we added 7th and 8th grades back probably 10, 12 years ago. And then behind it, you see sort of the steeple of the church, and the Catholic school is right behind it.
Is that an elementary?
And same thing, actually, it goes through 8th grade as well.
Nice.
So
Nice.
So when,
All right.
when they came to us and met with us to talk about, we need some immediate improvements for safety, especially for kids crossing the street. There's people living on that side who walk to school or go up to
Right.
the Boys and Girls Club, right? I think Wakeman, right?
Yeah.
So these are what's called quick build projects, where we sat down with, with the city leadership on the council, with Representative Stafstrom, and with city traffic engineering, and we talked with MetroCog and talked about what can we do now. So putting in these bollards here is exactly what the councilman was saying. Further up
This is
the
a
road.
bollard.
Yeah, those are little bollards, they're called.
And what
So
is
they're-
that?
It's like something that your car hits into it. It's not great, especially because it will scratch up your car.
Okay,
So most people avoid it. They will get knocked over.
right. And is it at night? Does that light
Yes,
up? Okay.
exactly.
Got
It's reflective. So
Okay.
it's essentially daylighting the crosswalks, like you saw up
Oh, I
there with
see.
the bump outs. This is like a temporary bump out. So we've created space so people can see the pedestrians in the crosswalk. Before this was installed, people would park all the way up to the crosswalk. So if I'm a
Right.
pedestrian trying to cross, the cars can't
You
see
know
me.
this well.
I are laughing at that, but yeah.
Like the people wouldn't see you trying to cross. And this way you have plenty of space before that.
I see. Okay. Okay. Hey,
And I would just
Mayor.
add the NRD.
Hey,
How
I'm
you
sorry
doing?
I'm late. We had
No problem.
11 events and Steve was this morning.
Yeah.
Hey, how
And
are
you
you?
know the commissioner?
If I don't, I saw him on TV last night. So, hey, how are you? Right? Weren't you doing something around here?
We were down the road in a few cities.
Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate you too, Steve.
So, Mayor, we're
Oh, Chief.
How are you?
I know you have that.
So, Mayor, we walked up, we were checking out sort of bump outs on Brewster Street, just kind of talking about some of the temporary builds around here, talked about what we're doing to improve pedestrian safety after we've had so many people struck on this road the last few years.
It's a bit of close, but it's not full. But I really, I'm blown out a little bit.
The bollard. I just learned that those white things are called bollards.
Oh, God. But it's a busy, and I remember going to one of the meetings now a year or so ago, and they talked about the complete build. They talked about the challenge of this road being a alternate transportation route. They made those design plans that would reduce the lanes to one lane, right? Stuff like that.
So we've got Greg here, who's president of the NRC. Greg, and we've got MetroCog here too.
Greg,
MetroCog.
how are you?
Susan, how are you?
He's also with the NRZ.
And MetroCog, do you guys want to just talk a little bit about sort of the broader vision and what we would eventually like to accomplish on Fairfield Avenue?
Sure, yeah, I think, building on what's been said all morning, I think the idea is to create a more bike and pedestrian friendly corridor that allows pedestrians to move safely across the entire corridor from the Fairfield town line all the way up to 95. We're looking to potentially include bike lanes for bike infrastructure to improve that connection both from Black Rock into Fairfield and into downtown Bridgeport, as well as continue to add these enhancements for pedestrians, daylighting of the crosswalks and permanent. We see the temporary ones here, which are great, and I kind of show the community what can be done, and then we're looking to kind of further that into long-term solutions like we did at Fairfield and Brewster to create that daylighting and create more pedestrian-friendly amenities that can allow everyone to use this corridor in a really safe fashion and help continue to improve the great business culture we have down here in Black Rock.
And the state just funded a study
Yes.
to look at, you want to talk about the state?
Yeah, so we just finished up a study in coordination with Connecticut DOT and the City of Bridgeport. MetroCog helped kind of administer that. And it really looked at the entire corridor from the Fairfield line at Ash Creek all the way to 95 and provided a number of recommendations that we're going to continue to work with the city and DOT on to identify funding mechanisms and implement those over the course of time. It's a really interesting study. It's a vibrant corridor in the city of Bridgeport, and it deserves a lot of attention to make sure it's safe and able to be used by everyone in the community and those that come to visit as well.
I mean, in a lot of respects, this is our main street, right? So
This is the type of thing that we all know it from the parades,
Yep.
or just from its whereabouts. It's the type of corridor you want to enhance. This is what you want when you put it on the drawing board and you say, what would you like your neighborhood corridor to look like? This is it. And then of course the challenge with safety, which is people, and this being such a high traffic vehicle traffic road too as well. But we just can't do enough, and You know, you talked about coming into Fairfield. This is where we border with Fairfield.
Yep.
We do so much with Fairfield. You know, monopoles included. You know, so I mean, we want to keep the strength of the neighborhoods and respecting the residents in all of our neighborhoods. And
I think that's our next call, man. That's our call this afternoon.
Oh, sorry. That's
the next meeting. That's the next meeting. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. With this vision that you have to make it one lane in either direction and have a bike lane, is there going to be enough parking as well for people to get to all these fantastic restaurants and businesses?
Sure. So those are all the considerations that kind of go into this, and you know, the plan that was done is a conceptual plan. It's not fully finalized. It's not fully designed. But we've had great discussions with Connecticut DOT, Commissioner Eucalitto and his staff on kind of the vision itself, and what we will do over the course of the next year or two, and as we look to identify funding for implementation, is kind of put a finer point on that, make sure that we have both the safety and access pieces for pedestrians. We also know, you know, traffic does have to move through this corridor, so you can't just stop all cars. It is, as Mayor Gannon mentioned, it is a heavily trafficked corridor. So we're trying to balance all those different uses. And that will be part of the continued work that goes on, is making sure that whatever improvements go in do not, you know, make the situation worse than it already is. But as you can see, as was mentioned before, we have, you know, a number of schools and other community assets right in this corridor that people are crossing the road, kids are crossing the road on a regular basis. So we really want to try to make sure that safety is a priority, but also allowing traffic to move and continue the great economic development.
All right, hold on. We got to give an applause to Freddie before he takes off. So Fred is former deputy chief of the Bridgeport Fire Department, and he's walking. Fred, where are you walking to? He's going all the way down to Westport. Said, where you're walking all the way down to Westport with that flag, right?
It's just down to Fairfield.
Huh? I thought you're going all the way down. Don't you go all the way down to Fairway?
Oh my gosh, even the shoes are patriotic.
Went there last week.
That's great.
down there last
Former
week.
deputy chief of the fire department, right?
Assistant. This assistant. Thanks for the promotion. I'll take it.
We'll take it. Well, thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks. This is nice.
Trying to make it easier to walk, Fred.
Yeah.
All right.
When do you anticipate this going
That's
down
it.
to one lane?
Huh?
When do you anticipate this going down to one lane in each direction?
I'll get a well,
You gonna take the hard one?
so you know, MetroCog did a great job with the conceptual planning. So it'll take several years to be able to do preliminary engineering, traffic analysis. So you know, it would be a few more years before that is fully vetted. We run the modeling, do the full design, because there's a lot of utilities through here too. And anytime you open up the road, you're going to find something underneath. So that's something that needs to be looked at as well.
It's a process.
Yes, it is. That's why we did the quick build.
Put more power in the process when we open them up.
Oh my goodness.
Is it possible
Thank you.
to get signs at the crosswalks that say state law stop for pedestrians? Like an actual sign? They have those all over Massachusetts, and it's big enough to be read.
Yeah, so in Connecticut, the state law is just yielding to pedestrians, not
So
stopping.
That
But
works.
what we did have, if you go up the road a little bit, you'll see at some of the cross streets for drivers, it says yield to pedestrians. So the driver turning, you'll see that. So that's what we're looking to do more of those. Yeah. So we have them where people are like turning, and then what we're going to do here is we have these RRFBs, they're called, rapid rectangular flashing beacons. And what we've worked on is to have some advanced ones as well. So if someone pushes the button here, it'll also start flashing down there.
Yeah,
so people will see, because right now, you know, it's a little hidden behind the trees. So this way they'll get two
trees are a
warnings
problem.
before pedestrians.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.